One press of the send button can impact someone for life.
A local bowling alley has been bringing joy to Davison for years.
And the crisis in Flint is still going on with more preliminary hearings for key player Nick Lyon. DTV News starts right now. Bullying has always been around, but social media platforms and instant messaging systems have changed the game. Cyberbullying is at an all-time high. Good afternoon, I'm Emmanuel Clinton.
And I'm Rebecca Allen. That's right, Manny. Now bullying doesn't have to be face-to-face to make an impact on someone. Bullies are hiding behind screen names every day, and their taunting can be detrimental.
It takes 5 seconds, and you don't have to be face-to-face with the person anymore.
You're gonna feel like, oh yeah, they're right, and they're gonna get in your head.
At the push of one button, and that's that send button, it goes out to hundreds of people.
With the sharp increase of smartphone usage, a new form of bullying has taken hold of those who are on the internet. Cyberbullying is the use of electronic communication to send messages that are typically intimidating or threatening in nature.
The internet can be so much fun, and there can be so much knowledge to be gained and entertainment value and Googling different topics to learn more about. But there's also the other side of the cyber world that can be devastating for anybody.
43% of kids have been bullied online, and 70% of the entire population on the internet has witnessed bullying play out.
Who's got one of these? A tablet, an iPod, a video game system, something that gets online or goes on the internet? Yeah, everybody in this room probably had it for a couple of years now. This is what's made bullying even more dangerous and even more long-lasting and even more damaging.
No place is completely safe from cyberbullying, as cyberbullying happens on personal websites, blogs, emails, text messaging systems, message boards, and even through video games and photos. But the main hotspot is your Twitter, your Instagram, and your Snapchat.
With the internet and with cell phones and the cyber world, they can't get away from it.
In order to better understand what students are witnessing, or in some cases, what they are participating in, Michigan State Police have been hosting informational seminars at Davison Community Schools for students, faculty, and parents alike.
Bullying, cyberbullying, social media, sexting, kind of all the things today that kids are doing that are getting themselves into trouble.
Recently, the internet has become more than a medium to share your likes and interests. In light of the alarming activity happening on the web, Governor Rick Snyder has signed a bill stating that cyberbullying should be an official type of internet crime.
Now kids are winding up with criminal records over something that should have never happened in the first place if you had just used your head.
Kids need to know that their behavior online suffers consequences as well.
But getting into trouble can be avoided by following some simple advice.
Be good to one another. You know, it kind of boils down to it's that simple. You know, there's no need to make fun of, pick on other kids. Respect your own privacy. Everybody in the world doesn't need to know everything that you're doing all the time on these social media sites.
And just remember to think before you send. You can delete a tweet, but the damage is permanent. Rebecca Allen, DTV News.
In the second installment of the Internet Issue series, I will dive into the ongoing problem with sexting. Remember to always think before you send. Nick Lyon, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Director, was in court again for a preliminary hearing for his involvement in the Flint water crisis. Lyon is being charged with involuntary manslaughter and misconduct in office. During prelim hearing, there was a cross-examination of Sean McElmurray, an environmental engineering associate professor at Wayne State University. McElmurray is one of the scientists who helped with research to find legionnaires in the water. Currently, there is no conclusion for the judge quite yet, but more of the key players in the Flint water crisis are set to be in court in early February. DTV will be there to keep you updated.
Court was also in session here at Davidson High School. Students in criminal law classes had the opportunity to perform 3 different mock trials. The students were able to become a prosecution or defense attorney or a witness in the case. If they weren't in the specific criminal law class, they have the opportunity to be part of the jury. Criminal law teacher Mrs. Abenage became Judge Abenage. The cases being tried were a rape case, a drug case, and a murder case. The whole experience gave students a chance to see what it is like in a real courtroom. Davidson, the town that seems to keep growing every year. This was no exception this past year. DTV's Jordan Button tells us about the new growth in Davidson.
With the scent of tar and sound of bulldozers filling the air, the growth of Davidson Township is out in plain sight for all of its citizens to see.
In Genesee County, I think we're the place to go.
Tim Elkins is a trustee for Davidson Township that is proud of all the work being done within the community.
We've had a lot of growth over the last 12 years. If you want to walk, run, jog, we have trail system. You got a dog, we've got a dog park. We have restaurants now that are coming in. We've got all kinds. We've got fast food restaurants to upscale restaurants. So we've got a little bit of everything.
The newest projects that have been built include Menards, BlackRock, and Tractor Supply Company.
People are wanting to move here because we have all types of things to serve all types of people.
One of those types of people? Senior citizens. The Hampton Manor, a senior living facility, is another fresh addition to the Davidson community. Marissa Brassfield manages the Hampton Manor. Living in Davidson for most of her life, and now running a business, she is very impressed on how far Davidson has come.
I'm in shock on how much Davidson is growing. We have so many businesses coming in that is huge for us. Davidson's a small, big town.
Future projects include a strip mall, storage unit, and possibly even Culver's.
I think we've done a pretty good job with that. It's making our community more of a destination.
Jordan Button, DTV News.
Thanks, Jordan. It's great to see that amazing growth that Davidson continues to go through. Coming up in sports, Blake Gordon has the highlights from a doubleheader against Notre Dame Prep.
And then we will introduce you to a family that has been a big part of the Davidson bowling team's success.
Call went out, checked the welfare, person possibly hung themselves in the bathroom. Flying into the bathroom, you look, and then you see a child just hanging there off of a backpack. Your mind races. My God, this is a beautiful kid. What pushed you to this? And we have to explain to the families, to the mom, to the dad, to a brother or sister, and you can see the tears running down our face. My heart gets broken. The parents' hearts get broken. Everybody involved, hearts, it gets broken. You don't ever want to do that to somebody.
What's going on, Davidson? I'm Blake Gordon giving you the sports, so let's get started. Notre Dame came to the nest to take on both the boys and girls at home. The girls went up first, taking on the Fighting Irish, and fight they did. The match was really close, but the Cards flew right past the Irish with a score of 41-40. After the girls take the W, it was the boys' time to shine. The boys' game was close, a real nail-biter in my opinion, but sadly, the last 14 seconds, Notre Dame took the lead and beat the boys 44-43. Great job to both teams for staying up with the Fighting Irish. All right, now it's time to get off the court and onto the bowling alley, where the girls and boys bowling team can be found throwing strike after strike. The state champion girls turned off Powers 30-0 and Lapeer 26-4. High scorers include Bailey Gibson and Lipsy Gibson. Then the boys shut down Powers 29-1 and slammed Lapeer 30-0. Great job, Davidson bowlers, and keep up the great work. Now moving from the bowlers to where they came from, winning championship after championship and bowling perfect games. None of this would be possible without support of Davidson Locals Bowling Alley. Royal Lanes has been a family-owned and ran business for over 70 years. DTV's Abby O'Neil tells us about the lasting impact they made on the community.
city of Davison, like many Midwestern cities, has been growing up around railroad tracks for over a century. And as the buildings age and the seasons change, one place has remained as a staple of the community. In 1946, a tiny roller rink opened its doors a block south of downtown, giving Davison a new place to hang out. At the start of the new year, a bowling alley opened on the second floor. The alley has seen many games and even more cleaning since then, but it was not easy when they first started.
I mean, back in the day, I used to strip and oil. I used to use actually like a bug sprayer to oil the lanes and do everything by hand, cleaning with towels and cleaners.
Those weren't the only old school methods used.
And for the first 10 years, they actually had pin guys that set up the pins. I think they got a nickel a game.
Some years later, the alley got an upgrade with a few new lanes and some better, shinier equipment.
56 is when they added on 1 and 2 and 11 and 12 to make it 12 lanes. And that's when they put the first automatic pin spotters in. And then we updated them again, and they're the ones that we still have in now.
All the hard work paid off, and while the roller rink eventually closed, the bowling alley is staying strong.
Well, I would think it would mean a lot, being here over 70 years, let alone being in the same family. Not many businesses can say that.
The family behind Rollaway, the Greens, have created a dynasty of bowling, spanning multiple generations.
From my grandpa and my dad to my dad and his brother, and then now from my parents down to me and my 2 sisters.
And to this family, work seems to be anything but.
When you say, love what you do, these guys love what they do, and they're passionate about it, and they are great at it.
The Green family live and breathe bowling.
It means everything to us.
Us includes more than blood at Rollaway.
This is family. For me, it's a second family.
When you walk in here, you feel like family in here. You feel like you belong here.
When someone has nowhere to go over the holidays, they can come up to the center.
Well, we know people over the years that maybe, they weren't going to be with their family for whatever reason, or their family's out of town, so we said, just come up here.
And that sense of belonging comes from the friendliness of all the people who work here.
The people that run this place have a passion for bowling and a passion for people, and they are so welcoming. Every person in their family is just incredible.
And the close-knit community the small bowling alley has created.
You get to know everybody, where when you're at a bigger center, and I'm not trying to knock the bigger centers, but you might only bowl that team maybe twice in the whole year, and you don't really get to know them like you do around here.
To many on the outside, Rollaway may seem too small.
And say 12 lanes, geez, why even build 12 lanes?
But to many in Davison, this is more than just a center.
It's a home for the team. When the guys come in here, it's not just a bowling center, it's the Green family home.
The bowlers come back year after year, and now, bowlers that started out as kids are bringing their kids to the alley.
I have quite a few little ones right now that their parents were my little kids at one time.
Starting young here sets the bowlers up for success.
My brother always says this is the toughest house in Genesee County, and we're proud of it. If you can bowl good here, then chances are you're going to be able to bowl good anywhere.
Many have proven that it's still possible to score big, and the Davison varsity bowling teams have been on fire, knocking out championship after championship.
Today, on the women's side, we're the strongest Division I program in the history of high school bowling. And on the guys' side, 8 out of the last 10 years, we've been a top 10 Division I bowling team.
With the hard work of everyone at Rollaway, the bowling program was built up to the amazing program it is today, and none of it would be possible without Rollaway lanes.
I'm sure there'd be some successes at different levels, but I think the level of success that we accomplished here, it would never happen without Rollaway lanes and the Green family.
Don't even imagine what I would have done if it wasn't for this place. So.
Thanks, Abby. If you'd like to see exclusive web extras, visit our website at dtvnews.org. And moving on from the warm bowling alleys, we go to a very cold Mount Holly, where the Ski and Snowboard Club can be seen ripping the hills like it's nothing. The club goes every Tuesday if the weather allows. The cost is $20 for a lift ticket, then another $20 for a ski rental, and $6 for the bus ride to Mount Holly. It does not cost anything to come back to the high school, but keep in mind that whatever is left in Miss Kelsey's room stays in Miss Kelsey's room until the next day, where it can be picked up in her room. To join the club, just go talk to Miss Kelsey in room 258. With the loss of our head football coach, Kyle Zimmerman, the Davison varsity football team is left searching for a new leader. Until school announced new coach Jake Weingartz, he was a head coach at Lapeer East, and he was displaced when the two schools merged. He will have a lot to prove stepping into this new role.
You know, my vision truly is to give all of our student athletes the tools and the resources to be successful in the classroom, on the field, and, you know, most importantly in life. So as far as the program goes, it's going to be all-encompassing. You know, I'm just ready to get started and build on some of the stuff that they already have in place.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background, where you came from?
Yeah, I grew up in Lapeer, played 4 sports there, 4 varsity sports, got a scholarship, went to Wayne State University, played 4 years there, started for 3 years. I was a captain my senior year, graduated, came back. I got the head coaching job at Lapeer East. I was 23. I did that for 6 years, and then obviously the schools combined, and they didn't hire me as the head coach, but I still stayed on and, you know, had some success, and I'm really, really happy to be here. Oh, no, I think obviously the tradition here speaks for itself. You know, I think we just got to build on some things that they've already got going, and, you know, everything takes hard work, and that's what we're going to do. And, you know, biggest thing is we're going to really, really stress discipline, attention to detail, and just playing for the guy next to you. You know, I'm a big family guy, and I think motivation comes more from, you know, respecting the guy next to you, respecting your coach, and then playing for the guy next to you. You know, not wanting to let that guy down next to you is you know, the biggest piece of motivation that a player can have and that a coach can instill in his team.
You can bet that the Lapeer rivalry games will be even more intense now that Coach Weingartz has arrived in Davison. Well, that wraps up my time on the sports desk. Now let's send it over to my man, the weatherman, to see if more snow is coming our way for those skis and snowboarders. Tyler?
Hey guys, I'm your weatherman, Tyler Theater. I have your weekday forecast. Monday, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, when I present Monday, there will be a high of 35 degrees and a low of 17 degrees. And Tuesday, you may present a high of 34 and a low of 25 degrees. And Wednesday, you have a high of 43, low, and a low of 40. And lawn with rain showers, which is very bad news for everybody. Well, at least you only have 3 days of, yeah, check this out. You only have like 2 days of rain, but Thursday there will be a high of 52 and a low of 33 degrees. Now, I hope this is going to be good. Now, this ain't good because people do not like snow showers on Friday. And it's going to be a high of 36 degrees and a low of 17. I'll send it back to the guys on the desk, and I'll see you on Friday.
Thanks, Tyler. College can be a big step for students, and paying for college can be difficult. But there is help. Here are some scholarship deadlines coming up. First, the Guy Wilson and William D. Jewell Brewer Scholarship is due on January 8th. On January 15th, the NALS of Michigan is due, and the Ancient Order of Hibernians is due on January 16th. Head to the guidance office for more opportunities and information. Rebecca Allen's second installment to her Internet Issues series is about sexting. The issue is a growing problem with students. She'll take you inside the dangers and consequences of sexting and being in possession of underage inappropriate pictures. Stay tuned for its release soon.
To stay updated on things happening here in Davison, be sure to follow us on Twitter at DTV_official and like our Facebook page at DTV News. We also recently started DTV News Snapchat, so add us on there to see more of what DTV is like every day. If you missed any of our live events, we've got you covered on our charter channel 191. Later on DTV, we will air the girls' varsity basketball game live tomorrow night at 7. Thursday is the Han Choir concert at 6:30, and on Friday, the girls and boys basketball doubleheader starts at 6. Of course, DTV will bring you all this action live. So guys, our football team has a new coach. There's definitely going to be some changes coming up.
And I can't wait to see those. It's really going to be interesting.
Like, the biggest change I want to see is their running game, because ever since Tariq Reed has left and graduated. I want to see what we can do with our running game, which that was what we were mostly known for the past 2 years. Well, I am Blake Gordon alongside Rebecca Allen and Emmanuel Clinton. Good day, Davison.